Truth hurts, doesn't it? Later, skater.
Girl, shut the f up. You thought you ate that?
Ciao all, Thomas here. Oh god, they really found a way to ruin Dark Bloom. That's kind of impressive, actually. What even is this reboot? Like, why are we throwing everything at the wall and finding new and interesting ways to make it all suck? As you can gather, we're here to talk about episode 7 of the Winx Club reboot, Dark Bloom. And I just would like to thank Eugenio Straffi for ruining one of the most interesting and underutilized aspects of the original series. Because everybody loves Dark Bloom. Everybody loves her look. Everybody is a sucker for the trope of good guy turns evil and turns against their friends. And, you know, this is also timely because Lisa Feverall just dropped a video about Dark Bloom and how the topic of grooming was handled in the second season, and actually kind of turned it into this analysis about generational trauma and how community winds up being the thing that saves Bloom from this guy who's trying to like isolate her. It got real as fuck in that video, and I actually teared up quite a bit. Fantastic. I know most of you have probably already seen it before, but I'm just throwing it out there. And I always really enjoyed the Dark Bloom storyline, and I think that video made me appreciate it a lot more. But I always felt like it was underutilized still. Admittedly, because I wanted more Dark Bloom fighting the other Winx. And just in general, I really like that exploration of morality in characters. Unfortunately, the reboot is going to not do any of that, because rather than do an exploration of grooming and how that affects the victim and how the victim could identify that it's happening to them and find a way to like escape it and heal themselves, we are instead just gonna have some random loser turn Bloom evil. Like it's a switch. You just hit a button and she's evil now, and you can tell because she's wearing a really ugly skirt and has fishnets. Fishnets are of the devil, I guess. Anyway, we start with Griffin yelling at the Trix in a hallway, not in her office, which is strange.
I want an explanation for what you were doing in the forest.
Y'all went out of her way to like have her react to the Trix's music in her office. And then she's not calling them to her office. This feels incredibly inappropriate to yell at the Trix and lecture them for what they've done. It's nice to finally have them like held accountable for their actions, you know, like terrorizing and trying to murder the Winx, freezing Rob and all that shit, because they've been getting off scot-free up until this point. But why are we doing it out where everyone can see and hear this? I don't even think it's to like publicly humiliate the Trix to like teach them a lesson, because if so, they would have made a bigger deal about it being out in the open, and maybe one of the Winx or all the Winx would have been nearby to like watch it with like popcorn. It's just a very strange choice, and Griffin actually doesn't let them talk. She just asks a bunch of rhetorical questions, and then she's like, I raised you three. I am practically your mother, and you disappoint me.
I welcomed you when no one wanted you. I raised you as if you were my own daughters. I covered for you even when I shouldn't have.
Which sounds interesting, but we don't get any further insight into this for the remainder of the episodes. It never comes up again. Okay, so are the Trix like orphans? Are they like actual biological sisters, or are they not related? And were they all like adopted by Griffin? Or is it more like a mentor thing that she was to them? Like what are the specifics here? Because I am here for a more personal relationship between Griffin and the Trix that can like add more fuel to the fire of the conflict between them when the Trix go full evil. But once more, we cannot do anything interesting with any of these ideas. And what makes it stranger is that Griffin should know that something more is going on with the Trix. Because Griffin and Farragonda are already theorizing that Bloom has the dragon flame. It'll be confirmed by the end of this episode for them, but they already have a strong inclination.
She accidentally destroyed one of Cloud Tower's underground tunnels.
Oh my. Could it be the dragon flame?
And so the Trix fixating on Bloom, I'm like, why have none of you clocked this? So Griffin punishes the Trix by like sealing their powers. They do this little camera maneuver, and it looks kind of cool.
Sealed away.
I don't know. The show is so hideous to look at that like the few moments that stand out is like visually interesting. I feel like I might as well mention them. It doesn't particularly convey any interesting story ideas. It's just a random cool shot. Okay. We then have the Winx in class with Professor Palladium. I forget, has he been in the show up until this point? I don't think he has. So like they just randomly introduce him here with no fanfare. And might I also say he looks hideous.
Ew!
His design is basically the same as it was in the original, but just 3D. And it's actually kind of insane comparing the reboot model of Palladium to the models of him from Secret of the Lost Kingdom, and just to witness what a downgrade this is. 2007 animation looks better than this. I think it's in the shading. The way the shadows fall over Palladium's face never look flattering. Not once, which is a crime. How do you make like a gay elf look hideous? Anyhow, this is just to show off Bloom's power as she juggles fire. And the Trix are like, we gotta get that fire away from her because she's getting too talented. Bloom is too cool for school.
We believe in you, Bloom.
You can do it.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, whatever. I don't. Ugh. I will say the way that the fire moves before Bloom starts juggling it, it's kind of the same way that the yin-yang symbol flows. And I think that is neat. I don't know, because they had the yin-yang symbol in the original in season 2, you know, the season with Darkar as the Great Dragon's opposite and with Dark Bloom.
In the universe, there is no light without darkness. When a form of energy is created, it produces an opposite force, equally strong. I captured some of the light that was in the room, but it only shows its power in the darkness. It's polar opposite.
I think that's a neat touch. So afterwards, the Winx are in the hall, and they're talking about Musa's upcoming concert.
Everyone is getting super hyped for your concert.
Your world musical debut! Can't wait!
Thanks, guys. I'm trying not to get too nervous about it.
This episode isn't about that, though. That's basically just set up for next episode. The reason we're bringing it up is so that we have context for when Aisha starts randomly dancing. I guess Tekna stole Sam's remote. This is just making me wish Bloom was more like Carly, like really neurotic and screaming all the time. Anyway. Okay, so Aisha's dance moves are just not impressive here. Like, Aisha's thing has always been dancing since the original. It's her way of like expressing herself and breaking free from her parents' conservative upbringing. And she's always been really good at it, but here the animation is not doing her any favors. I think the camera spinning around really rapidly is trying to like make the dancing look more impressive than it actually is. And there's also this weird bit where there's a bunch of like sound effects of cameras like flashing and shuddering. You know, it sounds like a bunch of paparazzi taking glam pics as she dances down the red carpet. And I'm like, girl, pack it in. That's hideous. It's so random and just, it takes me out of the moment. Like, if you're gonna do that, you gotta go all the way. You gotta make it like a visible daydream where we are actually on a red carpet and there are camera flashes all around visually. But just the sound effects, wow, disgusting. It would have been so much better to just be the ugly dance. So anyway, the Winx are in awe over her dancing because they have low standards.
So cool.
She's really good.
And they're like, girl, why haven't we seen you dance like that before? And Aisha's like, because my parents hate it when I express myself and also when I exist.
My whole life I've been raised as a king's daughter. Noble, stuffy. Hip-hop dancing is pretty much the opposite of that. I love it, but I shouldn't. My parents would never let me.
They're like going ham on Aisha's parents being trash. So like in the original, Aisha had a very tenuous relationship with her parents. Like they all loved each other. They were a very loving family.
Go back to Althea, please. I can't risk losing you.
I'll go back, Dad, right after all of us fighting side by side close the Omega portal and set our planet free.
Like some of their moments in season 3 when their planet is in danger are like genuinely so sweet.
Layla! Mom! Darling!
Especially between Aisha and her father.
You saved my life.
No, Layla, I think it's you who saved me. You gave me the strength to believe and to keep hoping. I'm very proud of you, sweetheart.
Oh, Dad, I love you.
But there was conflict there because her parents are quite traditional. She was raised to basically just be a princess who is seen and not heard.
Right from birth, I was trained to be one thing.
A mistress of etiquette.
Yeah, that's it. It was such a bore.
I mean, y'all know the drill. You're a woman. You're basically property. You don't get to be your own person. No expressing yourself. Wear poofy ball gowns all the time. Thou shalt not dance. Thou shalt accept when we put you in an arranged marriage with a man you've never met. And you better pray you end up liking him.
The tradition of Andros has always been that parents pick a partner for their children.
But I don't care about tradition. Anyway, I'm too young to think about marriage, and when the time comes, I'll choose my guy.
Nabu's a wonderful young man, Layla.
And I'm gonna marry him because I love him.
But there in the original, it felt a bit more nuanced. I mean, I would have liked if they had Aisha confronting her parents more often. Like, she does tell them off quite a lot, but it's never like the point of an episode. It's always something in the periphery. There was conflict in how her parents were trying to raise her, but there was never a question that they loved her. So it felt, you know, a bit more real to like what a lot of people's like family upbringings are. Whereas here, Aisha's parents are straight up trash.
Aisha, dear, please don't address us as mother and father in public. You can use your majesty.
Like, they are nasty. They're like saying, don't call us daughter in public, daughter. That's disgusting. And Aisha's like, oh, my parents never hug me. And I'm just like ready to dial CPS.
My parents never hug me.
Flashback.
My dear.
My sweet princess.
My parents never hug me.
And the reason this is so disturbing is because the show never actually seems to acknowledge how fucked up it's made them. Because if they're like this, then it's clear they don't actually love her. To them, Aisha is literally just property, and they're dick noses, and they should be treated as such. But instead, we get this weird thing where it's like, oh, her parents are coming around. They're meeting the bare minimum. Isn't that great? No, it's not. Like, girl, why would you make it like this? I'm just so uncomfortable now. Because now Aisha has to deal with this. She can't actually tell her parents off, at least from what we've seen thus far. I have no hope for the record. And the episode isn't even really about Aisha. So you've thrown her into this nonsense, but you've also found a way to make it irrelevant to the plot. Congratulations, Rich Burns. You've let Aisha be wallpaper. I mean Aisha.
She was always tightly tied to the main plot. For the reboot, we wanted to strip all of that back and just let Aisha be Aisha, fitting into the group on her own terms.
My parents never hug me.
So Aisha's parents are going to be visiting later, and she's like, please don't tell them that I dance.
Maybe if they saw how good you are at modern dance.
They cannot know about this. My mom and dad are on their way back from a royal summit, so they're gonna stop by and visit. Please, don't mention my dancing to them.
Which is also very odd considering that she's going to wear what she's wearing when they're around, when I don't think her parents would like... Okay, like parents like this, how the reboot portrays Teradora and Niobe, yes, they have names and I know them because I'm diseased. They will not be satisfied unless you are dressing like a Puritan, okay? You better be dressing like if you revealed your ankles, everyone in town would catch an STD and die. Maybe they just didn't feel like making her another outfit. Whatever. Maybe it's for the best, because Aisha's parents' outfits look like plastic. Like, that fabric, ooh, girl, the texturing. Wait, what texturing? There's literally no texture. That's why it looks like plastic. Meanwhile, in the evil lair of evil, Damien is being berated by his father once again. Vexius sucks, but I do enjoy him bullying Damien.
You fail, and then you fail again!
Father. Vexius is like, you fail, and you fail again. And I'm like, me and Rainbow. And also me and myself on days where I hate myself. So Vexius gets this wild idea to turn Bloom evil. Because if they turn her evil, then they don't even have to steal the flame from her. They can just have her be evil and work for her and be a living weapon and minion. And this is, this is getting into my thing where I hate how good and evil are written in a lot of media. Because evil, so many people even in real life, they talk about evil like it's a literal dark force where you are like purposefully doing wicked evil things, and people who are evil will just work together for the sake of evil as a cause. Like it's an evil fundraiser for wickedness. you know, help our evil car wash so we can make orphans cry in the parking lot later. And I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how anything works. When it comes to evil, for me, that is when people are willing to do harm to others or to the environment or just in general for the sake of whatever it is they want. They're not setting out to like cause pain. Pain is just the byproduct of their actions because they're willing to go that far to achieve their ends. Say like you want to control the world or whatever. You're not doing this so people suffer. You're doing this because you want all the power, you want the luxury for yourself, and that just happens to be the cost, and you're like, that seems fair. I mean, are there people who are like going out of their way to cause harm and they like enjoy that and get off on that? Yes, there are definitely people like that, but they are rare. And I feel like we overestimate how many people are actually like that. It's sort of like with violent crime, the way that it's reported, we all think that it's way more common than it actually is. So my reason for bringing this all up is because Vexius is like, oh, if we make her evil, she'll work with us because we are team evil. That's not how that works, bitch. You know, villains have these things called motivations. And usually a lot of villains actually don't end up working together well because they're all out for themselves. They have clashing motivations. And a lot of times their motivations and goals get in the way of other villains' goals and motivations. So they have conflict with each other. They don't just automatically work for the same team because evil. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. At least with Darkheart, it worked because he was explicitly going out of his way to make Bloom his underling, to make her like have an allegiance towards him. And like Lisa Fevrel also pointed out, he was intentionally having Avalon strip away everything that made Bloom Bloom in order to make her this kind of blank evil slate so that she would just go along with whatever he wanted. That was the goal. Whereas here, it's just, oh, if she's evil, she'll do evil. Fuck you. So anyway, their grand plan to turn her evil is just for Damien to yell that something is wrong with the animals out in the courtyard, and Bloom will follow him to the barn.
Hey!
Damien?
The beasts are loose! Someone help!
Hold on, Damien! I'm on my way!
Firstly, why didn't Damien just run up and ask Bloom for help? Because by yelling for help, like, indiscriminately in the courtyard, I'm like, okay, did no one else hear that? Because you're yelling in an open public space where other people clearly are. Wouldn't that attract attention? Wouldn't someone like potentially go with Bloom? And also, wouldn't someone like notify one of the teachers or Farragonda and Griffin and then they go to investigate? Like, you're drawing attention to like a secret plan that you should want to keep secret. It don't make any sense. It's so stupid. Bloom then follows him into the creepy barn despite him being, again, really fucking weird and creepy.
Over here, Bloom. This way.
Damien?
Fucking idiot.
This feels like I'm watching Bloom like walk into a dark alley to get murdered. You know, it's like when someone in a horror movie runs upstairs from the killer, and at that point you're just rooting for the killer just for the sake of natural selection. I'd say no hard feelings, girl, but the feelings are hard and they want you gone. So Vexius is in the shadows around Bloom as she's like alone in the darkness of the barn. I guess the smell of changeling shit is bad enough to make someone more likely to turn to the dark side. So Vexius is like, oh, I have the power of darkness and I can call forth the darkness into someone's heart.
I can bring forth the darkness from within someone's heart. Bloom's warm light will soon be gone. All that will remain is pure, sweet evilness.
So you can just, on a whim, bring out inner darkness to turn someone evil. That seems a bit OP. By that logic, couldn't he just do that with anyone? What's stopping him from like turning Farragonda and Griffin evil by that logic? If all he's got to do is like run up to them and go, the shadows in your heart are free now. Again, with Avalon, it was like a gradual build where he was earning trust with her. He was building a rapport for when he would make his move with Darkar.
You've already seen what happens when a little darkness is introduced into your heart.
No, you don't mean...
That's right! Shadow Clone lent you a bit of his evil when he hypnotized you. And now, I'll complete the transformation.
You know, it was a process, not just a sudden snap of the fingers and you're evil now. Side note, the fact that she's dark bloom now and she just gets a random blue streak in her hair and really ugly lipstick and eyeshadow and the leather jacket, of course.
So ugly, that poor woman.
She's dressing more like a witch in this universe, and I can just feel Eugenio's hatred of witches rising. And the way she acts too, like making all these petty insults, the lamest insults you've ever heard.
Later, skater.
Girl, shut the f up. You thought you ate that?
It sounds like what a boomer thinks that a snotty, rude, young person says when they're a bully. Which is also funny because usually the people who dress like this are like some of the quietest or nicest people you've ever met. I'm just saying. So anyway, Vexius is like, now that she's evil, it's the Trix's job to like teach her the ways of evil.
Guide her. Show her what the dark side is truly capable of.
So I assume they're going to teach Bloom how to fail at like literally everything, which I guess is good for the good guys. Side note, if you're wondering if Bloom is going to mention any of this when she gets, healed and brought back to the light, she won't. She won't remember any of this.
Do you remember?
I remember waking up here just now. Before that, nothing.
So that's great. It's almost like this episode doesn't need to exist. We then get Aisha with her parents. Her father is like, don't call us your parents in public. Okay, what the fuck else do I call you? Literally, like, she says father. Father is like the most run-of-the-mill kind of formal adjacent thing that she could say. And that's still not enough? What is wrong with you, sir? Aisha then sees this boy with a really bad, ugly hair break dancing. And the whole point of it is that like he's apparently the son of some noble, and it's supposed to like be a thing that ties in with Aisha wanting to dance despite being a noble.
He's Lord Pontiff's son.
A noble? Dancing like a common entertainer? Disgraceful.
And it's also weird because they'll bring this guy back. He doesn't have a name for the record. He doesn't even speak. But like it gives that they kind of want Aisha to end up with him at some point, and I am disgusted by the idea.
Who the fuck are you? Who you is?
Like, he is a non-character. Get him away from her. And it's also strange because in the animatics, he gives black. Like, his skin is clearly darker. I think his hair is quite different from what it ends up being. And then in the actual animation, he looks like an ugly white boy. So what gives? And then the Trix show up with Dark Bloom. I know y'all like Step Into the Dark, but I'm so over this. They overplay the shit out of this song.
Everybody they know how much your power flows.
Stop it. Stop playing this song every chance you get. Also, the fact that like the Trix and Bloom all have the same animation, like it's literally like the same exact animation of them walking and swiveling far too much, just copy pasted onto each of their rigs. It's so embarrassing. Bloom makes a comment of like, oh, go back to dancing around your parents, Aisha, and get out of my business. Her parents are like, what is this I hear about dancing? And I'm just like, have you never heard of a fucking expression before, you royal nitwits?
Go back to dancing around your mommy and daddy.
What did she mean about dancing?
Nothing.
Literally, like, have you never heard the phrase dancing around? Like, the fact that they thought it was like a literal reference to dancing to like make Aisha nervous that she was about to get outed. I'm like, that is the dumbest segue. Oh my God. Aisha then is like worried about Bloom's ugly lipstick, and she decides to warn the other Winx about her fashion crimes through a communication bracelet. You know, like the ones they have in season 5.
Winx, we have a problem.
Oh, and take these. So we can communicate underwater.
I'm just thinking this now. When the fuck in the reboot did they get these? Like these little communication bracelets. When the fuck did they get these? Y'all barely know each other and you already have the super spy kids gadgets to talk to each other. Girl, get out of here. So then Dark Bloom goes on an insult spree. She takes a shot at WizGiz at one point.
Watch your manners!
Move it or lose it.
She bullies Sky. She's like, oh, you're just your mother's perfect little boy, aren't you? And I'm just, oh God.
This is rude. And here comes Sky. So easy to make fun of.
These insults are so lame. Like, girl, if you're gonna have her be Dark Bloom and have her be insulting, make her bust out some actual insults that'll dig real deep. Like Sky's with Diospro, so why not have Dark Bloom openly flirt with Sky despite Diospro being there just to upset her? And then when Sky acts weird, have Bloom be like, well, you don't like her anyway, and she's mean and awful, and why are you with her, you loser? You know, like something that'll actually like raise the stakes for Bloom when she goes back to normal, something that'll actually tie in with the fact that they have this weird thing where Bloom is clearly into Sky and Sky won't do anything about it. Like, do something with this plot. Good God. And the mom thing, like, is that just a generic read? Like, he's a mama's boy? Or is that like a specific thing with his mom? And does it have to do with why he's engaged to Diospro?
Oh, it must be so hard being your mother's perfect little boy.
Because we haven't gotten any information about that. I feel like I'm losing my mind. The Winx then try to help Bloom. They're like, we're going to bring you to Farragonda. Dark Bloom is like, you're trying to kidnap me. Tegna does get an actual funny line here.
Farragonda will figure out what's wrong and how to help you.
You're trying to capture me.
No, that's not what we...
Actually, yes.
Thank you, Reboot Tegna. Thank you for trying to make me not want to die. I made a note that it was kind of weird that Dark Bloom, instead of being like, I'm not going with you losers, she like has an actual reaction of like, don't touch me. You're trying to capture me. I don't know. I feel like if this is Dark Bloom and it's supposed to be her inner darkness rising to the top, it should be like actual dark feelings she's had, but she's been suppressing. There's this thing. I don't know if you've heard of this, Genio. There's this thing called a character flaw. And normally humans are imperfect beings with lots of flaws and weaknesses and imperfections. And I don't know, this could be an interesting part to have Bloom reveal those to us. When she's not trying to be a likable good person. But instead, it's just generic, like lame insults because that's all we can think of because, you know, normal Bloom is just so perfect and twee and nice and sweet and she has nary a flaw. Good Lord. So Dark Bloom transforms. It's really lame. It's so they try to make it like this big epic thing in the score and it doesn't feel epic at all. And then suddenly it just cuts to step into the dark again. Of fucking course it does. God damn, the song should be banned. It's just ordinary Bloom's transformation, but like re-edited a bit with the dark outfit, which is just her normal outfit, but like with darker colors and the ugly lipstick. Insult to OG Dark Bloom. And before y'all go like, well, it's the same. It's her original outfit, but like different color. No. Yes, the outfit is now black, but one, it's a shade of black that looks good on her. Two, things like her shoes, her brooch, her crown are far more pointed because, you know, the pointy triangular shapes usually suggest danger or harm or evil. She has the long black nails when normally like fairies don't have nails, but witches do, which is weird. But again, it's the pointy thing. Her hair is a lot more wild and unkempt. Her wings are even very pointy. And she also gets like the yellow cat eyes. And she gets actual eyeshadow. Like, it seems like a simple change, but there's actually a lot more going on than just recolored magic Winx. It's a shame they didn't have the freedom. Maybe then I could have been freed from that fucking hideous skirt. Also, I wanted to like the red and black flames, but someone, I forget who, said that the flames looked like period blood, and I can't unsee it. This is disgusting. So the Winx transform, we get a really lame fight where everyone's just kind of moving at the speed of molasses. Bloom summons the Great Dragon, and it should be a bigger deal than it is.
You can't stop me now!
Like, she summons the fucking Great Dragon, and no one makes a comment about it. Like, literally no one. And also the staff isn't here. It's literally just the Winx fending off Bloom.
Fire first! Firewall!
They're just floating around as Bloom like throws fireballs at them. There's like no momentum. There's no damage to the surrounding environment to show the danger of the fight.
Fire wall! Vecna, hold on!
Bloom is about to kill Musa.
Ultrasound! Fire first! Musa!
Thank God.
Musa stares at her and manages to stop her with her profound ugliness.
Search for the light that's inside of you.
So ugly, that poor woman.
And that buys them enough time to have Bloom fall apart on the floor. She can't function just because of how hideous Musa is.
We believe in you, Bloom! You can do it! We believe in you, Bloom! You can do it! Shut the fuck up!
And they are then able to take her to Farragonda, and they're like, the Trix did this, obviously. Look, we are in the light, and they are in the shadow, so obviously they're the baddies. It's their fault. Long, awkward pause. Griffin says it's not their fault.
It's obvious! The Trix were behind this!
They are not responsible.
Because their powers are sealed, of course. That's the only reason why their powers were sealed, so that we could give them an excuse this episode. I fucking hate it here. Farragonda says they can go.
Icy, Darcy, Stormy, you may go.
And now to like free Bloom from this dark spell, Farragonda's like, y'all need to summon your most positive memories of Bloom, all 2 of them.
We need to bring her into the light. Each of you, focus on something positive you shared with Bloom. Something from your hearts.
As opposed to your kidneys?
Icy, Darcy, Stormy, something from your hearts.
It's just so forced. Like, again, y'all barely know each other. This is episode 7, and we're supposed to like call upon deep, loving memories of our friendship to save her. Girl, what? We have nothing to work with. We barely know each other. So a lot of the memories, they don't even feel like moments of actual friendship. They're just like things that happened.
Aisha, Fairy of Waves. You'll see my name on the food in the fridge.
And also, maybe it's just me, the positive part, it just feels like toxic positivity. It really does. It makes me think of like, you know, there's too much negativity in the world. And I'm like, yeah, but like, you know, ignoring it and doing nothing about it isn't going to help anybody. Because when I hear that, what I hear is, let me shut my brain off. Let me not think. I don't want to think. And also it's like, I don't know, it's not like the whole point of yin and yang is that they're supposed to be harmonious and in balance. And here you are just wanting to completely turn one of them away like a loser, like an idiot. Like that's a good idea. Also the song here, I don't actually hate it. It's like fine.
My heart is crying and I just want to scream.
I don't love it, but you know, by Reboot standards, it's decent, so I'll accept whatever I can get at this point.
This dark magic, there's only one person who... No, that's impossible. For now.
You fail and then you fail again.
Bloom is healed. She doesn't remember anything of what happened to her. There's a bit where Musa bonds with Bloom about her song lyrics and like expressing herself to deal with emotions. That's cute.
When I'm feeling bad, I write those feelings down. Turn them into lyrics. Oh, maybe turn them into a song.
I think this is supposed to indicate that Bloom is like co-writing music with Musa for next episode, which on its face, I don't completely hate that because Bloom is kind of an artsy girl. She's more like into drawing than writing, but you know, it's something, I guess. Anyway, this leads into Musa like playing some songs. Everybody starts dancing. Flora in particular comes down the stairs and she looks like she's really drunk and she's trying to like wave to get people's attention even though they're right in front of her.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
And we do this so that Aisha can dance so that her parents can walk in and be really upset that she's dancing. They're acting like she just committed a felony, like she just murdered someone, which to be fair, her dancing was that bad.
You must have forgot your regal bearing.
Farragonda is then like, oh, the best fairies are multidimensional and it's actually good your daughter dances.
The greatest fairies and people are multi-dimensional.
Well, we've never looked at it that way before.
Is she for real? Frightening, isn't it?
And apparently, having this authority figure say this is enough for her parents to completely change their minds. It's giving everyone's like brain dead. Like, what the fuck? What is this? And also, does no one find it weird that we had to like sugarcoat this so we didn't have to call out her parents for being shitty parents? And then they hug her and it's really weird and we're supposed to be happy about this. But no. It's giving like when a parent like is really shitty to you, says really horrible things, and then they just randomly hug you and love bomb you afterwards. And I'm like, this is literally the cycle of abuse. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
We love you.
My parents never hug me.
Graham. The police!
911, what's your emergency?
Farragonda doesn't give a shit about Aisha though, because she just immediately just switches the subject to Bloom and how she is feeling.
Thank you, Headmistress Farragonda, for standing up for me.
And you, Bloom, how are you feeling?
That's great. I love this actually not being an Aisha episode.
And just let Aisha be Aisha.
Why did we even have that in this episode? The fuck? And it all ends with Robin revealing some footage she took during the fight of Bloom summoning the dragon. And Farragonda's like, she does have the dragon flame.
Bloom has the dragon flame. It's not entirely unexpected, but I suspect we're not the only ones who know.
I hate it here. It's also so weird because if y'all have phones and you can record and you have social media, you're telling me nobody else recorded Dark Bloom going on the rampage? You're telling me no one snapped photos of that? Like that wouldn't be like all over the place, including the big dragon that like literally everyone knows about?
We know all about it. It's all over the chat rooms.
Okay, sure. Whatever. All right. This episode is just so fucking stupid, man. It's not actually about like the darkness within one's heart. It's not about being manipulated and turned into like someone's like weapon or tool. It's just a bunch of stupid ass nonsense. And Dark Bloom isn't even present in the episode for that long. So like, what was the point of all of that? I feel like I ask that at the end of every one of these videos about the reboot. And my only answer is so Rainbow can try to avoid going bankrupt. Yeah, good luck with that. Have fun going the way of the rooster, bitches.